Hey there guys, I just thought I'd do another video for God of War about the impossible summit triumphs on Muspelheim. It's kind of like a part 2 to my last video. First things first, I'll go through the runes that I'm using for my axe and my blades. So for the axe, I'm still pretty much using the same ones I used last time. I'm using Ivaldi's Anvil, which is pretty powerful. It's good for taking out groups of enemies. And I'm also using the Strike of Utgard, which is again good for taking out groups of enemy if they're in front of you, and does pretty high amount of damage as well. For the blades, I'm using the Strike of... one second. Yeah, it's called the Fire of Ares, which is the heavy one. It does a ton of damage. It's really good for taking out stuff like ogres, travellers, wolvers, pretty much anything with a high amount of health. And I'm also using the Main Crush, which is good for taking out like single enemies or even two enemies with a low amount of health in front of you. It'll just wipe them all out. Large explosion does a good amount of damage as well. So for this trial, it's the summit trial, so it's right at the top. You need 3 keys. I've went through the 3 keys on my last video, so it's like which 3 trials I did, which were pretty much the easiest ones to do in order to get to this summit, easiest way possible, and get as much loot as you possibly can. So for the summit, this one specifically, because it changes each time you do it, this one was a time limit one, so you have to kill all the enemies. I think there's 50 enemies in total that you have to take out within a period of 8 minutes to get gold, 16 for silver, and 32 for bronze, so you get a ton of time to do it. So once you get to the high levels like 7 or 8, then it's not all that difficult really. Getting at least a silver is guaranteed, very easy. So yeah, I mean travellers and stuff like that are a little bit annoying, but it's mainly the Graugs that tend to take a bit of time to because there's so many of them to take them all out. So in order to take out the Graugs, what I'd usually do is I'll try to get them all to group together by just have my shield up, shooting from distance with Atreus's bow, and try and get them all to group together. Once they do, then just use Ivaldi's Anvil, and that'll pretty much take out all of them, or at least put them down to a very low health, at which point, you know, you can just use your normal blades or axe or whatever and just take them out like that. The heavy attacks, especially for my blades, they were mainly used for stuff like ogres, wolvers, and travellers, just to do as much damage as possible. Fire of Ares, especially, as I said before, that's really powerful, does a ton of damage, and you'll see in the clip shortly how much damage it actually does, and what it can reduce it down to, even especially once you fully upgrade it, because then it's 1 attack slam to the ground, but it turns into 3 when you fully upgrade it. As in all these abilities that I'm using in this clip as well, they're all fully upgraded, and obviously I'm at level 8, so it's doing quite a significant amount of damage. My armor as well, you can see from the beginning of the clip, is mainly based around runic attacks as well. So yeah. So the rewards you get for this vary, as I mentioned earlier, between gold, silver, and bronze. For silver, I still managed to get some good rewards. I think the only thing was I didn't manage to get any of the Crest of Surtur, which I think is the rarest material you can get from this particular realm. So at Muspelheim, I think the most rarest thing you can get here is the Crest of Surtur. Other than that, it's Crest of the Flame, and then after that it's Greater Crest of the Flame as well. Those two are the higher ones, and the highest one is the Crest of Surtur, which I got last time, but because I managed to get gold this time, unfortunately I only managed to get silver. But yeah, I mean, it's all of them seem to be really useful in order to get the upgrade your gear to the full, especially with the Valkyrie set as well as Ivaldi's set as well, which you get from Ivaldi's workshop. It's really powerful set, especially if you're still struggling with the inside of the workshop. It's really useful there, and even gives you some health regeneration as well. As you'll see throughout most of the video, I'm on pretty much near full or full health throughout most of the video, so it's pretty hard to get damaged on this or lose any health, purely because of the armor and obviously the leveling as well. So it does get pretty easy once you get to level 8. Most of the enemies seem to be anywhere between 4, which is a bit odd for this trial, because it's the summit. You think it'd be harder, but anywhere between level 4 up to like level 6. So there's not really all that much difficulty in there. It's just purely the time period that's gonna have an effect on what sort of reward you're gonna get. So I hope at least someone found this video useful. Hopefully there's something in there. So if you haven't gone on the trial before, you maybe get an idea of it. See what the situation is and what you might have to go into. You know, because obviously with this game, it's purely, the game's different based for each person. Each person's going to use their own equipment, their own runic attacks and everything to make it easier for them. For myself, it was easier the way I did it. For you, it might be different. So you can use that way. Maybe, you know, I like to charge in and just go for the stun and then take them out like that. Or maybe there's a different way you want to go about it, but with myself, that's the way I did it. I found it quite easy as well. It wasn't too much, you know, effort, and managed to get through it quite easily. But yeah, anyone found this video helpful, just drop a like down below. If you didn't like it, drop a dislike, and if there's anything you think I can do to improve the video, just drop it down in the comment section below. It'd be appreciated, and hopefully I'll see you in the next video. Thanks.